Super Robot Wars games are a crossover beast, combining many mecha series into one, fusing plots and elements of each other to create a unique universe and story. One particular example I would like to touch on is in the most recent game, Super Robot Wars 30, and its 10-year conflict that affected the world prior to the start of the game. In the glossary section, there's a keyword entry called the last 10 years, and this actually gives us a summarized timeline of this period. It's cool to imagine how all this went down, and could have been an interesting game itself given the stories that haven't been adapted in a long time. In this video, I'll go over this section with a bit more insight than what the entry covers, so let's get into it. The time period is NSC 90 to NSC 100. Let's start from the beginning. NSC 90, the following series and their conflicts occurred. Mobile Suit Gundam and the 1-Year War, Mazinger Z and the Hell Uprising, followed immediately by the Mycenae War and Great Mazinger. Robo Armageddon and the Lunar conflict against the invaders. Gaogaigar TV / Final and the war against the 31 machine primevals. So immediately we get the Holy Trinity stories of Mobile Suit Gundam and the 1-Year War, Mazinger Z and Great Mazinger with the Hell Uprising and Mycenae War, and Robo Armageddon with the Lunar conflict, which took place before the OVA. We also get Gaogaigar TV and Final against the primevals. Given this timeline, Gaogaigar TV and Final took place in this first year of conflict, with King of Kings happening 10 years later during where we are in the game. The 3G crew goes through the same final ending, being exiled from Earth and went to deal with the threat of the 11 Soul Masters, then sending Mamoru and Kaido back to Earth, which is why we get them before Guy and the rest of the group. Also, if this timeline had a whole game dedicated to it, it would be interesting seeing the Lunar conflict from Robo Armageddon be explored in much more detail. As the entry describes, the simultaneous occurrence of these events severely weakened the Earth Federation. This conflict lasts until NSC 92, at which point the Wolgaru from Majestic Prince show up in the Jupiter sphere, and is still a problem when we start the game. Fast forward 5 years to NSC 97, the following series conflicts happen. Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam and the Grips War between the Titans and the AEUG, and the First Neo-Xeon War. So basically Zeta and Double Zeta Gundam happen back to back here. Double Zeta is not in the series list, and no major characters from Double Zeta are referenced at all in the game, so it's kind of awkward. Someone with little to no prior knowledge of UC Gundam would probably not pick up on this, so Double Zeta might as well not exist in this context. The political instability from this allows the events from Code Geass TV to kick off, causing Britannia to start their insurrections. However, they emphasize Emperor Lelouch and his actions as the evil emperor, which is what the majority of society remembers about him. And the truth behind Zero Requiem is not known to the general public. This is important for when we get to the Lelouch of the Resurrection plot. After all that, we get to NSC 99, where the final conflicts occur. The interstellar campaign against the invading alien forces, Mobile Suit Gundam Char's Counterattack and the Second Neo-Xeon War, Code Geass R2 and the assassination of Emperor Lelouch, Zero Requiem. This is where the major fights against the Wolgaru start taking place. Char's Counterattack also happens here, along with Zero Requiem. It's very interesting that they made Char's Counterattack and Zero Requiem happen simultaneously, considering Lelouch's and Char's similar world-changing actions and subsequent bond they have following these events. After these, the world went into what they refer to as the Miraculous Year, a year of peace, until the Third Neo-Xeon War happens, the events of Gundam Unicorn. The Laplace's Box incident kicks off the Zanskare Empire's rise to power in the events of Victory Gundam. This happens on NSC 100, which is about where the game starts. From here, the plots of most of the other series begin. One last thing I want to bring up here story-wise for the game as a whole is the idea of the Majins that the Quaestors were talking about. These being the powerful machines humanity built during this time period, most notably the Gundam, Mazinger, and Robo. There's a dialogue with the Magister where he mentions these three in particular, everything beginning with them. As an anniversary game, this nod is very cool, considering the first game in the whole Super Robot Wars series had these three, and continue to have them heavily involved in some way today. In any case, that's it for the glossary entry. I almost find this timeline more interesting than the one we got, but that might just be me wanting them to go back to some older series and stories that haven't been included in well over a decade of games. Let me know in the comments what you think about this period of time. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.